How's it going, everybody? So, gonna be a little real on this one. Sorry that I'm doing this to you on an earlier podcast and don't really get to know me before we get heavy like this. But I thought I'd put it on here and hope that it helps you guys out and that you guys benefit from having heard it. I had the great privilege of getting to spend almost a year and a half with a good little Yorkie. My fiance insisted on picking the guy up, and at first I didn't want him, and I grew to love him. And he got PLE, which is protein losing entropy, and so basically he's losing protein through his lymph system. And he just kind of gradually deteriorated. Didn't really have a whole lot of muscle tissue to him. Pretty frail looking. Would hold water in his stomach. It just got to the point last night that we had to let him go. He wasn't able to sleep. We think he was having small strokes. There's just so much wrong with the poor guy. And this is time. This is time to let him go. And, it's the most recent, for sure, obviously, that I've lost somebody or something, something I care about. A loved one, if you will. And, you gotta ask yourself, or at least I do, why does this happen? And what do we do? How do we move on? And I think of the many things and the many reasons that we move on and that this happens is it gives value to the life that they whoever that person or thing or animal, whatever you loved, it gives value to the life that they lived, and it's our responsibility to pick up where they left off and learn from their life. We're all born excuse me. We are all born with this seed of greatness in us, these dreams and ideals that we strive for through life. And I also lost my grandfather several years ago, and it's kind of one of the reasons I got into fitness. It is the reason I got into fitness. I originally wanted to do physical therapy and went down that road because I saw that he was getting helped, and I changed the route a little bit, wanted to be more preventative. I didn't want people to get to that point. I talked to the professionals, and they said, fitness and health, exercise and nutrition would, cut those numbers by like 80%. I was like, heck, I want to be on the other side of this, and here I am. And I truly believe that the people we care about, the things that we care about, when they go, it is our turn. It is our responsibility to pick up their torches, to pick up where they left off. Whether that's caring for a loved one they cared about or, continuing a dream that they had. They live on in us. They live on through our life, through our memories. And in doing so, they never die. One of my heroes for the longest time was Greg Plitt. A little rough around the edges, but somebody I looked up to. Gone as well. And you just pick up the torches. You pick up the torches that they were carrying, and you learn from their life, and you continue forward. You keep fighting forward. That's my mantra. That's my motto. That is who I am. We keep fighting forward. That is a human spirit. We don't give up. We keep fighting forward. And we pick up the torches. We pick up the torches of the people that we cared about, and we move forward with them until this whole world is set ablaze with passion and love. And that's how you make the world a better place. You don't forget the people. You don't stop talking about them because they're gone. You owe that to them. You owe it to them to say their name, to talk about the memories that you have with them, to go in every day with the ones that you still have and live it like it was your last. Live it in such a way that if it was, you could be okay with it. Leave on good terms. No matter what happens, you get in a fight, you tell them at the end of it, hey, I still love you. You keep it real, but you keep it how you'd want it to be if it was the last time you ever got to talk to them. Because who knows? Who knows? The world's just too freaking crazy out there, guys. You just don't know. And, it's hard. Sometimes you just gotta roll the punches. But they get to live. They get to live on in you. They get to live on in the life that you live. In the times that you speak their name. They're not truly gone until people, you, the ones who care about them, stop talking about them. And it's hard. It's hard to stop talking about them. It's hard to talk about them because you care so much and it's such a painful subject. Such a painful subject because you don't want to go through that last part, the painful part, where you had to say goodbye, or maybe you didn't get to, and it was forced on you. Your hand was forced to say goodbye. But that doesn't mean you can't talk about the good stuff. That doesn't mean you can't talk about their life, about the great times, about the lessons you learned from them, about how they helped make you a better person. We pick up their torches. We pick up their dreams, their hopes, their aspirations, and we carry it forward. We do everything we can because we loved them. We do love them. It's the one thing it is the one thing that transcends time and space, and that's love. It's always there. It's always with you. It doesn't go anywhere. You'll have it forever. It's the only thing. You can go anywhere, anytime. A lifetime can pass and you will still have that love. And I truly believe we take it with us when we go. We live for them. We live for ourselves, for our dreams, for that greatness, for that seed of inspiration, whatever our mission is here on earth, because we all have a mission. We all have a purpose. There's a reason for all of this. And whatever that is, we give it our damnness to make it happen. We do everything we can, not just for ourselves, but more importantly for the people around us. We do it because others will be better for it, because we lived the light that was given to us. Whatever that may be, whatever that passion is, whatever that hope is, whatever that dream is. And I say it on every podcast. I got on a freaking intro. It's on a loop, guys. I just pop it in right here. And the biggest thing is having hope. Believing in a better tomorrow. Believing in a higher purpose. Believing that we're not just on some rock spinning around the sun. That everything we do, every action we make, every thought we have, every person we try to help, and every person we don't, every person that we let down, that's on us. It's on us. Because we have a choice. We always have a choice. Until we don't have a choice, we have a choice. There's no excuse. There's no excuse not to make the right one. It might be hard. It might be the hardest thing you can do. I tell you right now, having to put my dog down last night, that's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. You know, a little bit of me is thankful that's the hardest thing to date. And the other part of me wishes I didn't have to do it. But sometimes the right thing is the hardest thing. You know, I look up to these heroes. I look up to the fictional ones. I like Superman. I like Captain America. You know, I like these guys because they stand for something and they do the right thing. You know, or at least that's what they stand for. And then the real ones, you got the military out there. You got the first responders. You know, they had their faults. Things happen. I know it's a touchy subject with some people. But for the most part, I believe they're trying to do good. You know, you have the nurses, the doctors, school teachers. There are bad people out there and there are good. And I believe in those good people. Those are my heroes. The people that stand up and do the right thing when it's the hardest. Those are my heroes. Self-sacrificing, disciplined, and they put others before themselves. That's a person right there. They can do that. I'll probably change it a little bit, but my favorite quote on being a hero is by Christopher Reeve. I don't know if everyone listening to this is familiar with the guy, but he used to be Superman. He was Superman all the way up until he went. Fortunately, had a horrible accident, left him paralyzed, and he kept doing stuff. He kept fighting forward. He kept making a difference. Couldn't even get out of a wheelchair. I don't think he could even. I think he was a quadriplegic, but he kept making a difference. You know what he said a hero was? He said a hero is a normal person who does something extraordinary. A normal person is somebody who does something extraordinary when it's called for. You and me, guys. We're heroes, if we so choose it. And it's our mission. It's our mission to do the right thing. Like I said, I'll say it again. We pick up the torch. We pick up the torch of the people around us that we care about. And we set this world ablaze with passion and hope for a better tomorrow. And we keep fighting forward until this world is such a blaze that it is a shining light for everyone, everything, and all. That we can be better. That the world can be better. There's so much hate out there. There's so much discontent for our fellow man. You know? We're in the 21st century. We're so worried about race. We're so worried about class. We're so worried about all these things and not seeing a person in front of us. It's so foreign to me. It's such a foreign thought. We're all from the same place. You want to look at it from a scientific standpoint. We're all Pangeans. We're all from Pangea, which is one big continent way back when. You want to look at it from a spiritual standpoint. We're all children of the King. We're all, from God, a higher power. And I believe the good Lord, God, whatever you conceive him to be, or her, or it, that they put us here for a reason, to do good, to fulfill a mission that only we can truly fulfill. And it can be something simple. Maybe it's taking care of somebody. Maybe it's running into a burning building and getting somebody out. Maybe it's showing up every day and doing something we think is mundane, and we have this small conversation with somebody, and we're happy, and they're happy because we're acknowledging them. We're treating them like a person. And maybe that person, unbeknownst to us, lives for that conversation. Maybe that's the reason that they decide to come into work every day. We don't know. We don't know. And I think that we owe it to ourselves, to our best selves, whatever that is in your mind's eye, that we go forward and give it our best every day, no matter how hard it is. And it's hard. This world is hard, guys. But you do your best until it's your time, until you are called home. Whatever you can see that to be, whether it's heaven, whether it's just a peaceful end. Until that time, we fight. We go out and we make a difference in the world. We stand up for what's right. We help up the downtrodden. We stop the belittling. We stop the separation. There's no reason. We have the technology. We can communicate with people instantly around the world. There doesn't have to be any differences anymore. We just have to agree. And it's such a hard thing because we see things differently. I understand that. But there are universal truths in this world. No matter where you go, you see a newborn baby. That is precious and a miracle. I don't care where you are, what culture you're from, what language you speak, what color you are, how tall you are, what gender you are. That is a miracle. And we can all respect that. And we can build off of something like that. We can build off of life. We choose. We choose in everything that we do, whether we are fighting for life, just letting it pass by, and I hope not the other. I hope not supporting life. It's hard. I know there's a lot of things out there. I'm not trying to be on a soapbox. I'm not trying to be on a high horse. I'm just speaking as a simple man who knows that there can be better, that we can be better, that the world out there can be a better place. Have more patience. Have more tolerance. Take an extra breath or two when you want to yell at somebody. Do good. Fight for that positivity. Fight for that optimism. Why not hope? Why not? Why be a cynic? Why not go about your day hoping and believing and trying your best to make whatever that is, that optimistic hope, that betterment happen? Why not? Why not do it, guys? Life is going to throw us around. It's going to throw us around. It's going to throw us in the middle of the ocean, and we're going to fight and fight until we're washed ashore and we can rest. And that whole time we fight, we can grab the person next to us, and they can swim a little bit easier until we can all make it. Until the point that life isn't so hard. Life isn't so hard for ourselves, for our posterity, for our future generations. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day that we don't recognize that we're just a blip. We're just a blip in time, guys. And you know what? There's been so many generations of us. There's been so many iterations of us. There's been kings and conquerors and the same old people like you and me. The average Joes, if you will. But you know what? We're a generation. We're a generation, guys. And we can stand up and say no. We can stand up and say no. That this is not us. That we don't put people down. We don't separate. You know what we do? We look at the person next to us and we say, hey, that's my fellow man. I'm going to help him out. He's going to help me out. And we're going to make this world a better place. It doesn't have to be upfront and blunt like that. You don't have to literally turn to the guy or the girl next to you and say that. In fact, I think not saying anything has a more profound impact. Holding the door open for a stranger. Going out of your way so that somebody doesn't have to, go out of their way. You let them take the shorter route. You say hello when maybe they don't say hello to you first, Or maybe they have this just look of just like anger and disgust and they're mean mugging you. Or at least that's what it looks like. And you know what? You just smile back at them. Not in a mocking way, but in a cheerful, I'm giving you hope. I'm giving you love. I want the best for you. And doing something like that, living each day where you're watching as best as you can, and we're all human, we are fallible, that we do our best. We do our best to help the person next to us. And I think that's the point of life. I think that's the point of death. To give value to life, to make us appreciate all that we have, to give it significance, and when it's all said and done, at the end of your life, or after you've passed, to look back and say, you know what, I did it right. I made this world a better place. I had some good times along the way, but I left a legacy. I left some footprints behind for other people to be better, for this world to be better, for my children, my grandchildren, my neighbor's children and his grandchildren, her grandchildren, our future as a human race, as humanity, to be better. And we all want that. That's another universal truth. We all want what's best for the next generation. And we are the generation. We are the generation that can make that change, that can go out there and make a difference. I've seen it happen. I've seen it, guys. We gather together in times when it's hard, and then times when it gets a little easy. That's when we back off a little bit, and we're right at the edge. We need to just push a little bit harder. We get so passionate about being hateful. I don't watch the news, guys. I'm probably missing out on important things here and there. But there's just too much negativity. I'll find something eventually that's neutral. But you know what? I don't want it to dictate my heart. I don't want it to. It's just too much negativity. And that's not what I want. That's not what I want for the future. I want something, even if it's just me, even if I'm the last man standing, I'm going to fight for a better tomorrow. I'm going to fight for universal human respect and do everything I can to make the world a better place through fitness and health, for sure, because that's my backbone. I think it all originates there, because it also transcends into the mind, but also making a better place because of the people that we loved, the people that we do love. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to them to do our best, to make those choices, even if they're hard, to go in every day with hope in our hearts and do what needs to be done. Not in an aggressive way, not with vengeance, but with love. And you can be aggressive with love. Don't get me wrong. But you do it with love, right? So you might be thinking, what's that mean? Let me tell you. You go in with all that love of what you've been given, or maybe what you've seen. I don't know who's all listening to this, and I don't know your story. I don't know what all you've been through. I know horrible things can happen. I know it can be hard growing up. I was very blessed to come up in a environment that was very loving. And maybe if you haven't, first, I'm both saddened that wasn't the case for you, but there's still time. There's still hope. That doesn't mean you can't bring love into the world. It doesn't mean that you can't give it out. That doesn't mean that you can't feel loved, that you can't be loved. It's an infinite power source, guys. Infinite. It's the strongest thing. It's the strongest thing out there. And we use that. We're aggressive with it. We get after it. We go out there and love aggressively. We don't tire. We don't lose momentum. We keep going forward. We keep loving in such a way that it sends ripples across the world, across time and space. We can be aggressive getting on a train. I've seen it. We can be aggressive going down the sidewalk. We can be aggressive talking to people. And really what that is just a very concentrated form of energy, but it's a negative energy. Love, the most pure and positive thing out there. So it's concentrated love. It's pinpointed in such a way that you can go out there and melt hearts of stone. That you can go out there and lift people up that don't have hope in their hearts. I think that's all I got time for today, guys. So, shout out to my little guy, Snickers, my grandfather, Tom, Greg Plitt, all the people I care about, all of you guys. I don't know you. If I could, I would. But what I do know is that whoever you are listening to this, you're a great person inside. You're a person that can go out there and make a difference in the world. And that's unbelievable. It's remarkable. It's amazing and beautiful. And we need people like you. The world needs people like you. You can go out there and be your own hero just by helping others. Be an ordinary individual who does extraordinary things for the betterment of humanity, for your fellow man. Now that's a life. That's a life worth living. To go out there and help others. To carry on the torch of the people that came before you. I always say that, as much as I'd like to think, I'm this big tough guy and, things are going well and I'm successful, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, of the people that are around me, my loved ones, the people who educated me and taught me life lessons outside of the classroom, and all those who came before me, my ancestors, this great nation, and before that, our ancestors. I'm saying this from an American's point of view, but whoever is listening to this, whether it's in the U.S. or around the world, wherever you are today, wherever country you are, whatever's going on, there were good people out there who wanted better. And whatever benefits we have, whatever privileges there are, it's because of them. Because in some instances, they were willing to sacrifice. They were willing to fight. But they never gave up hope. So hope, love, go out and do your best, guys. That's all anyone, and that's all you can ask of yourself, is to go out and do your best until the good Lord calls you home. This is David Miller. Out.